Whiteboards as risk-free environments. Whiteboards, individual whiteboards, have many uses in the classroom. Many teachers use them for individual responses or informal assessments, but I like to use them when I teach a new concept. My students come to me with many negative feelings about math, depending on their history. Oftentimes, they're hesitant to try new problems, they're afraid of making mistakes, and ultimately erasing work that they've worked really hard on is intimidating. So I like to create a growth mindset and a risk-free environment in my classroom. Whiteboards can do that. They're fun to use. I allow my students to use either individual whiteboards, any board space around the room, or even write on their desks with dry erase markers. Teachers have to give students permission to do this and to be creative in their work. So here's how it works. We try new concepts and they use the whiteboards first. The whiteboards are easy to erase and it's easy to wipe the slate clean in one sense. Peers can help one another, and once the problem is perfected, it can get copied into their notebook. In this sense, the notebooks become references with exemplars. How I chose this strategy was based on the alignment among Common Core state standards. The Common Core state standards in math expect a lot. Perform computations, prove theorems, reason quantitatively, and showing your work in math means maintaining equality, showing all the steps so that the reader can read your work, and sometimes the solutions can get really lengthy. Basically, dry erase markers are easier to erase than pencils on paper, so they're less intimidating. And you only need to erase mistakes, not the whole problem. Whiteboards can be used in any content, in any CTE or academic setting. When everyone has a dry erase marker, all the students have access. In fact, many companies now use whiteboards for their employees. They give them communal space, and this increases collaboration and brainstorming. So why did I choose this? And what do I think about it? Well, I'm a 27-year veteran teacher, and I used to be pretty strict with pencil only. But the problem with that was that students never really looked at their notes because I was having them write in their notebooks regardless of whether it was something new or practice. And then a colleague told me that she used whiteboards and that I should try it. So what I did was I explained to my students the process. I said, I want you to use your notebook as a reference. We're only going to copy 1 or 2 problems of each type, but they have to be perfect. So to do that, we're going to write on whiteboards first. It's kind of like a rough draft. And then once it's perfected or even proven, then we're going to copy that into the notebook. At first, I thought I made a big mistake. Those boards were used inappropriately and people were drawing all during my lesson. But then I started noticing that kids were talking about the math, and peers were gathered around one of the sideboards to help their classmate who was stuck. The students really don't like to recopy their work, but eventually they saw the benefit of taking those notes. When we went one-to-one, I started to see students take pictures of their work with their cell phones. And what they were really doing is creating a digital notebook for themselves. I hope this instructional strategy works for you, and if you need any of the references, they are available at the end of this presentation.